I get asked all the time how to best answer interview questions and handle certain interview situations. My name's Ian, and I've been a recruiter for over 15 years. And if you're interested in knowing the best way to answer interview questions and how to approach an interview, give me a subscribe, and I might be able to help you ace your next job interview. Let's look at how to best answer the question if you were terminated from a previous job and how you can sort of turn that around to your benefit. Okay, so if you were fired from a previous job, during an interview, it's gonna likely come up. An employer's gonna go through your career history and wanna understand why it is you've left, previous positions. And unfortunately, if you have been fired from a previous job, it's probably best not to lie about it, with all the background checks, and it's easy to find individuals on LinkedIn to do sort of backdoor references and all that. So it's important to be upfront and honest and indicate that you were terminated, but I'd like to give you 5 things as well to sort of consider that could help you sort of get through that interview question and sort of still remain a strong candidate for that role. So first thing to consider when answering this question is be honest and direct about it. You want to let your interviewer know that yes, the job obviously didn't work out and I was terminated and I was let go, and again, you want to be able to provide some detail about it, right? So for example, perhaps you were hired for a role and you didn't have the technical skills or the expertise to excel in that particular job, and that's why ultimately it didn't work out. Or perhaps if you're newer in your career, just be honest and say, at the time I was young and immature and maybe had some attendance issues, but and that's sort of the reason why that I was let go, but I've grown up now. Or again, maybe the fit wasn't there. It just, for whatever reason, culturally or what have you, it just wasn't there and it just didn't work out. And it can be mutual on that side as well. So I think it's important to frame things like that, for example. And then the second point on top of that, so after you sort of framed and sort of given a little bit of an explanation of why you're terminated, you want to accept responsibility. So if we're looking at the previous examples, perhaps if you didn't have a technical skill and you were struggling with that component of the job, in hindsight, you should have indicated in the interview that, you should have went and asked for help or asked for additional resources to get training for that skill that, perhaps it wouldn't have let you ultimately be terminated. Or again, if it's attendance issues, to go back and say, hey, I was young, it was my first job, I was young and dumb, and I've grown up since then. And as well, again, if it's sort of a cultural fit for whatever reason, if it just wasn't working out, right, for whatever reason, if you didn't jive with the team or your boss, that's okay, and just be upfront and honest about it, right? Or perhaps maybe it was even a job you tried and wasn't for you, so then you transitioned and moved to a different sort of career or a different sort of job, right? So that's something that can be considered as well. And if you have one of those on your resume, that's fine, as long as it's not at every job it's sort of the same reason or an excuse. But having one is something like this is okay, right? And really doesn't hurt you as a candidate. It's just important kind of to be honest and frame it properly. And then, it's sort of along the lines of that as well. Sort of you accepted responsibility and sort of discuss what you've learned about it. When you need to ask for help if you're kind of struggling. Obviously, at the time maybe you were immature, but now maybe you have a family or maybe you're living at home and you have rent and bills to pay. So you indicate that I can't screw around anymore because I have bills and stuff that I have to pay. And again, if you transitioned over to another career, that would make sense. Two other quick little points as well that I would like to discuss as well. You want to leave emotion out of it. Even if it was a bad situation or maybe it was unfair that you were terminated, just leave emotion out of it. Just be very matter of fact. Kind of go through and kind of just discuss what you moved on. What you moved on from it and you've learned from it, and then that's that's good enough to sort of, for the employer, that shouldn't really hurt you as a candidate, right? And then number 5, again, at the end of it, if you're after kind of going through it, if you can sort of reframe the whole interview and sort of discuss why you're the best candidate for the job, and kind of discussing your mistakes and what you've learned from them, and then tie it back to why you're a good candidate for this job today would kind of help you as well, right? So in closing, again, it's not catastrophic if you have been fired once for your job. You just want to craft a good story to go along with the truth, because obviously it's not, it didn't work out for whatever reason, right? If it was a job or a career ultimately you weren't interested in, no problem, right? Everyone's allowed to try things and fail, right? So as long as you can kind of reframe it back, then it should be okay, right? And shouldn't be a limiting factor in your job interview, right? So, all right, hopefully that helps. And if you think this could help someone, please send this video to them. If you have any questions, as always, please send them off to me. I'm happy to answer them in a future video or in the comment section. And I appreciate a like and a subscribe. Have a good day.